Welcome back to Mega Psyche, where we go deep into the psychology of attraction and expose the exact mistakes that kill interest before it ever has a chance to grow. Today we are talking about something that most men never figure out until they have already lost someone they genuinely wanted. And the painful part is that most of them were not losing because they were not good enough. They were losing because they did not understand what actually creates attraction at a psychological level. They tried too hard, gave too much, and killed interest without ever knowing it was happening. So today, Mega Psyche is breaking down 4 things that genuinely make a woman feel drawn to a man, and the specific ways most men destroy each one without realizing it. Drop a 1 in the comments if you have ever felt like you did everything right with someone and still watch the attraction disappear. Because the reason that happens is almost always one of these 4 things. Point 1. When he looks completely comfortable in his own skin. A woman notices this faster than most men realize. And most men do not look comfortable around a woman they want. The moment attraction enters the picture, something shifts. Their voice changes. Their words become too careful. Their body becomes restless. They start performing, trying to sound smarter, funnier, more impressive than they actually are. You can almost feel them begging to be perceived a certain way. And that energy weakens attraction immediately. Because she is not meeting a man anymore. She is meeting a performance. She is meeting someone fighting control every impression rather than someone simply and naturally present. That is exactly why a man who feels settled in himself stands out so powerfully. He is not overdressing his words. He is not rushing to prove his value. He is simply there, present, grounded, unforced. And here is the psychology behind why that is so attractive. His comfort suggests he has already accepted himself. It suggests he is not starving for her validation. It suggests that being around a beautiful woman is not such a rare event in his life that he has to lose himself over it. Here is the key insight. Attraction does not usually begin when a man adds more. More words, more effort, more performance. Attraction often begins the moment all of that unnecessary effort is removed. The solution is not to pretend to be confident. It is to stop performing. Stop trying to say the perfect thing every second. Stop trying to manage every impression. Learn to sit in the moment without forcing the outcome. Because the more you try to control how you are perceived, the more unnatural you become. And the more unnatural you become, the faster attraction slips away. Point 2. When she feels there is more to him than what he first shows. Attraction grows when a woman senses depth. Not because a man is playing games. Not because he is acting cold or mysterious on purpose, but because everything about him is not immediately available. She can feel that there's more experience, more thought, more life behind what she sees on the surface, and that creates curiosity. And curiosity is one of the most powerful forces in attraction, because when a woman feels she has already seen everything about a man, interest flattens. There is no tension, no discovery. No reason for her mind to return to him when he is not there. But when she senses there's more to uncover, more layers she has not touched yet, her attention stays active and her interest stays alive. Here is where most men destroy themselves without realizing it. They reveal everything too early. Their wounds, their desperation, their whole emotional world, their entire history. Too much, too soon. And many men do this because they believe oversharing creates closeness. But in the early stage of attraction, too much exposure almost always creates the opposite. It removes tension. It removes curiosity. It makes the interaction feel heavy before attraction has had a chance to breathe. That is why some men get one strong start with a woman and then watch everything cool down suddenly. Not because she found someone better overnight, but because he gave away his entire emotional world before attraction had room to form. The solution is not silence. The solution is to let things unfold at their natural pace. Let her discover you in layers. Let your actions reveal character before your explanations try to prove it. Let her feel there is depth in you without you throwing everything on the table at once. Because when a woman feels there's more to you, her mind stays engaged. And when her mind stays engaged, attraction has room to grow into something real. Make sure you're subscribed to Mega Psyche right now, because we break down this kind of attraction psychology every single week, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Point 3. When she feels scarcity around him. Attraction becomes significantly stronger when a woman feels that a man is not too easy to access. Not because he is playing games or trying to punish her, but because his time, his energy, and his attention are not lying around freely for anyone to pick up whenever they feel like it. Scarcity creates value. What feels rare naturally feels more important. And what feels too available almost always becomes easy to take for granted. That is not just dating psychology. That is basic human psychology applied to everything. When a man is always there, always replying instantly, always emotionally available at any moment, always waiting regardless of how she is treating him, he starts to feel common, predictable, easy, safe in the worst possible way. And what feels too easy does not create tension. But when she senses that his attention is genuinely valuable, that his time means something, that his life is not structured around waiting for her next message, something shifts in her perception. His presence starts feeling heavier, more significant, more worth keeping. Here is where most men get this completely wrong. They think being constantly available proves how serious they are. They think fast replies show interest. They think endless access builds attraction. But too much access removes the very thing that keeps attraction alive. If she already has all your time and all your attention without earning any of it, what exactly is she moving toward? Nothing. And nothing does not create attraction. Here is a critical distinction. Scarcity does not mean disappearing or playing games. It means your life is genuine weight. It means your time means something real. It means you are not a man who can be emotionally picked up and put down like an object. And the solution is straightforward, even if it is not easy. Build a life that genuinely does not revolve around female attention. Real priorities, real structure, real focus, so that your limited availability is not a strategy. It is simply a reflection of a life worth living. Because fake scarcity is manipulation. Real scarcity is a natural byproduct of genuine purpose. And women can always feel the difference between the two. Point 4. When he does not feel desperate. Nothing kills attraction faster than desperation. And a desperate man is easy to recognize. He is too eager, too available, too hungry for something to happen too quickly. You can hear it in how he talks, see it in how he rushes, feel in the pressure he brings into every single interaction. He wants reassurance too fast. He wants closeness too fast. He wants certainty before anything real has even been built. And that energy suffocates attraction. Here is the psychology behind why. Desperation carries a hidden message underneath everything it does. It says, I do not have many options. It says your response has enormous power over my emotional state. It says, I am already deeply invested before we have built anything worth being invested in. That is why desperation feels weak. Not because wanting a woman is weak, but because needing her too quickly destroys your position in the dynamic before the dynamic has even been established. The desperate man does not let attraction breathe. He pushes, he chases, he over-explains. He tries to secure a result before the connection has had time to form naturally. And the more he does that, the more she feels pressure instead of pull. And pressure is never attractive. A man who is not desperate feels completely different. He is calm, patient, not forcing the moment, not acting like this particular woman is his last possible chance at connection. That energy feels stronger because it communicates self-control. And self-control is deeply attractive. But here is the painful truth that most men do not want to hear. Desperation is almost always a symptom of something deeper. It usually comes from emptiness, from loneliness, from a lack of real options, real purpose, real self-respect, from building your entire emotional world around female attention before you have built yourself. That is why you cannot solve desperation by changing your texting habits alone. You solve it by changing your life. Build discipline. Build real self-respect. Build genuine standards. Build emotional control. Build a life where a woman is genuinely desired but never treated as your only source of meaning. Because once a man has something real behind him, he stops carrying that starving energy. And that changes everything about how he shows up. Here is what Mega Psyche wants you to walk away with today. When you put all 4 of these points together, The pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Women are drawn to men who feel genuinely grounded in themselves. Men who do not perform for approval. Men who have depth they do not immediately expose. Men whose time and attention carry real value. Men who are not driven by desperation or emotional hunger. Attraction dies where neediness begins. It weakens where over-effort becomes obvious. It disappears where pressure replaces natural tension. So the real question is not how do I make her more attracted to me? The real question is what energy am I currently bringing that is killing attraction before it even has a chance to start? Because most men are not losing because women are impossible to please. They are losing because they are too available, too exposed, too desperate, and too disconnected from their own value. Fix that, and you stop forcing what should have grown naturally.